Hello and welcome back to Experience Points. It's me, Carlos Charlie Munguia, and we have Shinke Day here. We're going to talk about a newly released game, a game that we've been waiting for, a game that, well, I mean, of course, well, yeah, you haven't played yet due to some difficulties, right, Shinke?
Exactly. Yeah, some third world country stupidity.
No, but the thing is, I mean, well, the game we're talking about is obviously it's Wolfenstein, and you know our show Experience Points, where we make points by experiencing the game. So we're going to talk about Wolfenstein, and but the thing is, I mean, you're like, well, you love Wolfenstein. You've been playing it for years, as well as me, right? Obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course. I actually started playing Wolfenstein like way back in the day on PC, and my uncle's office they have a PC and they had it installed. So actually, I think that I played Wolfenstein even before I played Doom. I
Oh
mean, it
yeah.
came out before, but we're talking about Mexico, so yeah.
It's a little bit different, yeah, I understand. And it's funny that you said that because there's a part in the game where you find an arcade machine and you can play all the Wolfensteins, but they're kind of remade. When I mean remade, it's made through the eyes of a German, and Hitler is actually B.J. Blazkowicz.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's kind of funny. Plus, it has like the all the tunes, the theme song. It sounds all like through a 8-bit audio. It brings back a lot of memories, dude. It's so freaking awesome. And it's called Wolfenstone, not Wolfenstein. It's called Wolfenstone.
Oh, the little arcade.
By fighting like Italians, Russians, and other people. It's funny. It's cool. I mean, it's cool, but yeah, just something to pass the time.
Okay, I heard about a plot point. It might or might not be a spoiler,
Uh huh.
but about Blaskowitz's reputation among the Nazis. Is it
Yeah.
true?
You either everything like in real life or, or
No,
like in the.
like he's like the boogeyman or something.
Yes, actually, he's called Terror Billy. Terror Billy, and it's funny because in the beginning, well, it's not spoilers. It's the beginning, but like you're like going around. You know, you got out of bed. You're going around in a wheelchair, and you can hear them talking, and they talk about you. And like, yeah, dude, it's like my cousin cleaned up one of his massacres called, and they have a name of the massacre like something historic. He's like they cleaned all the bodies, and now my cousin cannot sleep because he cleaned all the bodies that Blazkowicz killed in Osaka. Yeah, he's like the boogeyman. People are like really afraid of him. It's weird, dude. It's kind of cool because I mean he is a total tough as nails badass. But in this game, it kind of covers something more of a delicate issue in the beginning. Is like he's now like kind of fearing like his own mortality in a way. I mean, I don't want to give too much
Uh-huh.
away because then there's like a turning point in the middle of the game, which I probably think you already figured out or you probably watched other videos on it. But I think do you remember one time when we saw the first preview of the game and you see how like they're switching heads on animals and stuff like that? Have you noticed that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, well, you kind of get to the point where it's going to get. I mean, I'm not going to say anymore, but Skewitz was he's a total badass here because pretty much like he's dying, and like each time something happens in the game, where if you get flown out of a car or out of a train, he just gets up and he goes, "Ignore the pain. Got to keep on going. Ignore the pain."
Uh,
And that's
actually,
it.
actually, actually, something that I have always wondered about Blazkowicz is how he endures so much pain. If you play through the first one,
Yeah.
like just like everything that he does. I mean, he wasn't into coma twice. He was blasted from the moon.
Oh my god. Yeah, he was, dude. You're right. You're right. Yeah, and he's in a
That,
coma again in this game, and he's just you can't take him down. It's funny, dude. I mean, it's a great story, man. I mean, I really want to get into like there's a hub in the game. The hub is like the ship that you're on. And the cool thing about it is that each character that you see or that you don't talk to them. You're kind of a mute when you're walking around. You're like a mute, but you
uh,
see how people interact with each other, and you can see how they have personalities. And the way they interact is like a story unfolding in front of you. It's like watching a show in front of you. Each time these people interact, like they're talking, and like if somebody's fixing something, they'll pick up a wrench here and they'll keep on talking, and then they'll get the wrench and then pull the screw out. Even the minor details, dude. It's just crazy. It's awesome.
that's actually how it was in the first one too.
You remember
Something
that?
so in something that was very interesting of the whole Wolfenstein universe and this new Wolfenstein, and like how, especially Blazkowicz, how serious he is and how like introspective he is.
Hmm.
But if you like this very silly idea, but it's taken very seriously, but somehow it works.
Good thing you made a point of that, because in part one it touched on that. This one, it blows the doors wide open. Because if you see the intro alone, the first what 3 to 5 minutes, it shows racism, it shows domestic violence, it shows it shows what else? It shows like a murder, and it's just it's all delicate situations. It even drops the N bomb in the intro a few times, and you're like,
Wow.
whoa! It makes you feel like a little uncomfortable, but then
Uh-huh.
they bring it back to silliness. It's so weird, dude. It's like a dark comedy. You know how dark comedies are kind of serious, and all of a sudden they do something like what? You know, like it's like an emotional roller coaster.
Yeah, like make it silly, right?
Yeah, dude, it's awesome. I do like that type of that type of atmosphere in a game, and I think Wolfenstein 2 represents that perfectly, dude. So
Yeah, that's what was actually one of the things that that I like the most on the first Wolfenstein, like how they were able to balance the tone of the story and the narrative
hmm
so perfectly. Because if you mention it just like that, and you haven't actually experienced it, uh, it wouldn't make sense. Like it's like yeah, it's like this story that is kind of a comedy, but they take it too serious, and then the character is very introspective and stuff like that.
yeah,
And yeah, the fact they make it work is pretty cool.
it is, dude. It really is. I mean, it's like playing. It sucks you in, dude. Like when you beat a level, you're like, all right, I got these people in now. What's gonna happen? And you kind of just keep on going. And plus, like when you kill the enemy, which is obviously all Nazis, man, it's just the way you just mutilate them in close range, dude, is like ouch. I mean, this guy has like it's like no remorse for for the enemy, dude. This guy just really pummels them, dude. It feels good. It actually feels good. It looks awesome, dude. If you know what I mean.
Yeah. So let's go a little bit more about into the mechanics, because that's pretty much the what everybody plays a game for. I heard in someone's review. I mean, everybody else's review has been pretty positive. I haven't heard any negative reviews,
Okay.
but one person that says that it starts very slow, that it has like some very forceful stealth missions and stuff like that. So what can you tell about that?
Forceful stealth missions actually. Well, in the beginning, you're kind of you're in a wheelchair, so you're kind of restrictive on what you could do. You could do it stealthily, but you don't have to. And I noticed that the first parts of the mechanics about like there's these commanders or captains that you need to take down before they set the alarms. You do need to get used to the mechanics on how you move, crouch, and what makes noise and what does not make noise. Because I remember like one little hop, they'd be like, "Oh, what's that?" And like I just hopped off something. And also, what one really annoying thing about one mechanic is that the character BJ, like he'll vault over a lot of things, but for some reason vaults. It's like really, like what the hell? Because like sometimes like there's things in front of you, you want to vault over him because you got a big machine Nazi coming after you, and he won't vault. You just vault to 10 other tables, but he won't vault to like a small chair. Like okay, what? Okay, dude, you know. It's like, but yeah, that's pretty much.
Yeah, but I think that's a problem with video games altogether. I actually something that was silly on the Evil Within is a couple places where the character could had like some obstacles and couldn't move forward, but they were like things that they were so obvious to vault over or just to go through.
Yeah,
Like they could have put out a little bit more effort. So those invisible walls, right?
yeah, and then like and like those mistakes are like life or death. You know what I'm saying? So, so
Yeah.
it could be frustrating. You know what I'm saying?
And this was my main gripe about the first game, that you had to actually press a button to pick stuff that
Ah,
drop.
yes, yes. This one you could actually walk over him and you get the item. You have a choice if the item is kind of far away from you to grab it, but you can also walk over it and you'll get it. So yeah, I remember the part one. I hated that, dude.
Yeah, and especially because in consoles, picking things is not precise. So
Yes,
yeah, it's a little bit annoying.
yeah. So I totally
Okay,
understand that.
so it's pretty much like a combination of both, right? Like
Yes, it's a combination of both. You could
the
either walk over
reaching
them or you could grab them. Because sometimes the ammo drops like at a small crevices sometimes. So if you can't walk over it, you could grab it. So that kind of works out.
all right, and what about the shooting? How does it feel?
The shooting is smooth. I mean, in the beginning, it's kind of hard because you're doing iron. You don't know where you're shooting sometimes, kind of like a real iron sight. But
Uh-huh.
once you get upgrades, weapon upgrades, you get scopes and stuff like that, and you'll do a much better job, dude. Because I hate iron sights because the flare of the gun. You can't see where you're shooting at. But
Yeah.
the shooting is great. I mean, this thing runs at 1080p, 60 frames per second. It's smooth. It's beautiful. Also, I do love the double wielding. And I don't remember if part one. Can you upgrade your weapons in part one possible?
Yes, you can. You can
You can, right?
upgrade your weapons in part one.
Okay, because this.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it is weird though. The way it works is weird. How you upgrade on part one is kind of like RPG-ish. What you gotta do is you have to. There are some mods, but also you have to like to complete some challenges and you unlock like perks, but they directly influence your weapons.
Okay, cool. Because this one has like attachments. You could actually build attachments on them, and it's dope because like if you're double wielding, you can actually put the attachment on whatever weapon. Like I have this assault rifle that has a scope attachment, and you could take it once you take it off, the scope just falls to the right of the weapon. And if you're dual wielding, one could have a scope, one doesn't have to, and then like you could turn them both off at the same time. You see both scopes going down while you're dual wielding. It's pretty cool. It looks really badass, dude.
That does sound pretty awesome.
You know what I'm saying? Well, you can have one attachment of a grenade launcher and one not, and you could just and you
Uh-huh.
could switch on the fly, boom, boom, and then like do like a combo or something, dude. It's pretty cool.
Damn. That sounds pretty badass. Pretty
Doesn't it?
Doom-like actually.
Yeah,
Is that?
yeah, good, whatever.
Uh-huh.
Kind of like that.
That sounds pretty awesome. So there was this weapon that I liked on part one.
Mhm.
Well, actually two weapons, mostly because of the visual flair. The pulse rifles, the electromagnetic pulse rifles,
Uh huh.
and the what's it called? The laser thing.
Oh,
It
Lasercraft.
has
Lasercraft.
yeah, the
something like that, right?
lasercraft. Do
Yeah.
you still have those?
The pulse rifles, I haven't got that far yet, but the Lasercraft, yes, and it's upgraded too. But the Lasercraft, I mean, what I noticed too is that I remember in part one, if there's a thin sheet of metal, you could cut a lining, right? Like you could cut a square or a circle for you to get whatever you want to go. Correct? If I remember
Exactly.
correctly.
Yeah, it was a little bit of it was like it helped you to solve some puzzles, some
There you go.
environmental puzzles and stuff.
This one, you just shoot at the sheet of metal and it disintegrates the whole metal. You don't gotta cut a line or nothing like that, dude. They're like, fuck the bullshit, dude. They're like, just shoot the piece of metal and it dissolves. So it was pretty dope. It makes it much
Like
easier.
let's trim the fat. Let's cut the fat.
Exactly, dude. Let's cut the bullshit. Just destroy the damn metal when you shoot it. So I was like, okay, that works for me. That's cool. That works for me.
Actually, everything that you mentioned so far about weapons,
Mm-hmm.
it does feel like the developers they tried to streamline everything and make it more user friendly, right?
Yeah. That makes sense, especially when a game is so fast paced like this. You know what I'm saying? Why make it difficult when everything you have to do is very fast paced?
It's very consoleized, made aiming console players, or do you feel like it's separate if you play it on PC, or you will get the same experience?
You get the same experience because I mean the way you switch weapons, you use a rotary wheel, and you could do the same thing with the PC. Well, actually with the PC you could press numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or either way. But no, I'm feeling that if you have it on PC, it'll be the same. I don't think you'll miss any gameplay or none of that, dude. I think it'd be the same, to be honest.
All right, and what about the graphics? Tell us
The
a little bit
graphics,
about the graphics,
graphics are good.
because something that actually I felt that happened on part one is that it was held back because of previous consoles. So what can you tell us
Ah.
about the new one?
The new one, the graphics are good, dude. Like I said, it runs at 1080p, 60 frames per second, and just the way that material interacts with anything when the bullet ricochets off metal, when you use the Lasercraft on a piece of metal, how it just dissolves is like throwing alcohol on the how do you say on a block of sugar, how it just dissolves, dude. I mean, it's just it looks sweet. It looks very good, dude. And plus, it's fast paced. I haven't seen no screen tearing or any slowdowns yet, thank God. But the graphics are very good, dude. I gotta admit, even the cutscenes, the acting. I mean, the game goes together very well, dude.
You're playing with a PlayStation Pro, right?
Oh yes, I'm on the PS4 Pro right now.
Does he have a PlayStation Pro support yet or not?
For this
The enhancements you get, the usual flair, 4K, HDR, and all that stuff.
Yes, but it doesn't have any. You know how you go into the video and it says speed for graphics for speed. You know how they talk, they have that weird mumbo jumbo the way they do it. That's not there. So that's
Okay.
when you go on video, it's just you have the gamma, you know, bright or dark. That's it. The
Okay.
usual.
So pretty much you don't get the choice, right? You cannot pick your or toggle between different options, right?
Exactly. That's correct.
All right. Okay. Okay. Yeah, because I pretty much I do prefer when you have the option,
I know, me
because
too.
I normally find it more worthwhile to play with higher frame rate than or stable frame rate than resolution because I'm half blind. No
Mm.
joking. So resolution doesn't do much for me. That's why I haven't upgraded to 4K actually. I
Well, I
haven't
mean,
bought a 4K TV because
the graphics is not much of a sacrifice. The game still looks great. Each game that I've played that you have that option, it's not. It doesn't come to the point that, oh shit, this is ugly, but it runs fast. Nah, dude. I mean, it's not. It's not to the point that I'm like, oh, this is gross. I'd rather have detail. Not at all, dude. I would rather have frames per second too. It runs smoothly, and plus, I mean, like I've told you before. I mean, when you're doing shooting games, I mean, that split second could mean life or death, even in fighting games. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
exactly.
yeah, I would just rather have that always too.
Exactly. So I want to discuss a little bit about I want to discuss about the characters
Hmm.
because one of the things that I liked the most about part one was the characters,
Oh man.
the way they interacted with each other, and also just their personalities was really badass. In fact, one of the characters and one of the alternate storylines, and the first one was Jimi Hendrix. So do you have something like that?
I think her name is Gracie Jones. I think she might be somebody historical. I could be wrong, dude. I could be so wrong, but somebody like Jimi Hendrix, not yet. But I think it comes to the time period where they're about to make the rise of the Black Panther group. I think because part of the story, I meet this group and they're about to create something. And I think it was a Black Panther, but since like the Nazis came and they destroyed, I'm not gonna say a lot. I'm not gonna. I mean, they nuked a part of the United States, and
Oh
so
shit.
so that did not happen. So like the Black Panther group actually ended up being the rebellion, the American rebellion against the Nazis. I'm guessing that's what it is. Dude. I could be wrong, but I mean
Okay.
that's where it's aiming towards. I'm guessing.
Okay, and what about the rest of the characters? What about the lame guy? What's his name? Mike Haas. He's on that game, right? The guy with brain palsy. The guy that has like half a brain.
Oh yeah, he's on here, dude. Actually, I'm in the hub right now, and it's funny because there's a part of the game where he's
The Jewish guy, right?
yeah, and you can sit there and watch the whole game, and Max wins, and he gets pissed. The other guy gets upset because he's a scientist. So you see funny things like that, dude. Because like you see him, you can see the whole chess game. They move the pieces around, and then and then Max goes, mate. He goes, what are you talking about, mate? And the guy goes, what? And he knocks the chest over. You're like, no! And he starts yelling. So I mean, you can see these things unfold in front of you. Like the game has life. Every person has a personality, and and you notice that they kind of grow in the game. So each person that you
Yeah.
see, they have like a background. They're not just stupid people who just take space and walk around and just like the man holding the hammer, just walking around doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like the guy just pressing on the switch. No, it seems like each person has a purpose.
That was one of my favorite things about part one. The fact that you didn't have that many characters, but all of them, the
Hmm.
few that they have,
Hmm.
they were very well fleshed and they felt like real people.
Yeah, dude.
I mean, cartoonish kind of real people because they
Yeah,
were
of course. Yeah, of course. But yeah,
that.
this game is great, dude. I mean, we've all just talked good stuff about it, and the bad I pretty much already said. Like, there's stuff that he kind of clips on, or he kind of he cannot hop over sometimes,
Mhm.
which makes me die. And also one other thing, dude, is like when you play it on a really hard mode, be extremely careful because like um, I'm playing it on Terror Billy, and Terror Billy
Mhm.
is one or no two before the hardest level. The hardest level is shaded out. You can't play that. I think you need to beat the game in order to get that shaded level. But
Mhm.
I'm a third down before the end, and the thing is, it's hard because you walk around and if something hits you, you die, but you don't know what you got hit from, dude. It's like
Right.
it doesn't show you who killed you. So like you could be just walking around, all of a sudden you go doom, you just die. And I'm like, what the hell, dude? It happened to me like a lot of times. So you got to be really careful and it's kind of hard to learn from your mistakes because you don't know what your mistake was. You know, does that make sense? It's like,
Yeah,
what the hell,
actually,
dude?
that happened in the first game too.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude, I hate
I
that.
I love the first game. I
Uh,
love the first game. It was my it was my it's one of the few games that I platinum. We
yeah.
were talking about that just before we started.
Mhm.
And but my very first run, I did it on Hurt Me Plenty, which is
Oh
Terrorbilly
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So yeah, I know, I understand. It was pretty frustrating, but yeah. But the funny thing is, once you play, and this is always my philosophy, and I think you already know this. When you play a game on the hardest difficulty first, and then you go back to like medium, you just breeze through the game.
Oh
So
yeah, easily,
that's
dude.
how I like playing games.
You feel kind of OP, you know what I'm saying? You feel OP-ish, dude. So yeah, I see what you're saying. And also like the best tool in the game, you could save anywhere. You could save anywhere in the game. So if you're right before a hard part, save it, and do whatever you can do. And what I do love about where you could save anywhere you want is that they have a perk system. Like
Uh-huh.
for example, like if you stealth kill 5 guys, you get first level mastery, and your what was it? I think you could your stealth kills have more damage.
Uh-huh.
You know, hold on, and actually I could take a look at it now. Like for example, like stealth takedowns, the reward is increased movement in speed and crouch. I'm on
Uh-huh.
mastery 3, and I think the highest is 5 on each thing. And also there's like hatchet skills. Like if I throw enough hatchets, it increases my total capacity if I level that up. So what I like
Uh-huh.
about that is that when you encounter enemies, you kind of have to encounter them differently, which makes it kind of fun in order to get upgrade a perk. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So
Yeah.
for me, that kind of switches up things because I mean, you don't go in there with blazing guns or whatever. You got to find a way to kill a certain guy in order to upgrade that perk, making it a little more, how do you say it? A little more challenging, but you got to be creative at the same time.
Yeah, I feel it makes the leveling up or acquiring abilities much more natural
Mm-hmm.
because it is about what you do. It's not about like assigning points. It's more about like, okay, if I really want to play stealthy, I gotta do this and this and this to improve my stealth, right?
Yeah, good point. Because like you said, what if like you said, what if I gain points by shooting people and then I upgrade stealth? Well, what the hell? I mean, in real life, you have to practice stealth in order to upgrade it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, so that
Exactly.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
it doesn't make sense. It's like magic and you never use magic. Like that doesn't make sense.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm gaming logic, right? I mean, it works, but I mean, yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Actually, yeah, just a little bit of a story. That's what they tried to do on Final Fantasy 2, and that's why they failed. But anyways, all right.
That's another story.
There was one other thing that I noticed, but since I haven't played the game
Hmm.
because of shitty reasons,
Yeah.
something that I noticed is that you can actually dual wield different type of guns, right? So you
Oh
can, for
yeah.
example, have like a pistol and like a shotgun in one hand, right?
Yep. You can.
How does that work? Do you have to do any type of cheat codes like in 007 or what?
No, dude. At the first, after you get out the wheelchair, you can actually do it right away. You could dual wield. You can have like the pistoli and the assault rifle in one hand, and you got to be careful because if your weapon is semi-automatic and you have one automatic, you have to pull the trigger on one gun, meanwhile keep on pressing the trigger on the other gun. You know what I'm saying? So it gets kind of confusing. Like, da,
Yeah,
da, 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 da. But I mean, yeah, you could do a lot of combinations, dude.
that's pretty awesome. Actually, that's one of the baddest things about the first game that you could dual wield
Yeah, dude.
any gun that you can get two of.
No, this one
And
you could combo it, dude, and like when I take down these big Nazis, I mean, I dual wield. The thing is, you sacrifice accuracy because, of course, you can't aim with two guns. I mean, how the hell do you
yeah,
aim
of
down
course.
the how do you iron sight two guns, one in each eyeball? No, you can't do that. So and your controller's shaking, and you have these dual fucking big machine guns taking down those big Nazis. It's cool, dude. It feels really badass.
And it also makes you wonder, like just imagine the lean power that limb strength that Blastoise has, like with
Ah,
dual wield
dude.
shotguns, the recoil on those motherfuckers would be like
They
would tear your arms off.
blast you back on your ass, dude. That's for sure. Yeah, I mean, you can't. You really, I couldn't. You gotta be a real badass to do that. And
Yeah,
and
I, I
it's just, yeah, you just gotta see it, dude. It's freaking badass.
yeah, I got that. Hopefully they stock the game for PlayStation
Yeah. Oh, they
here
should, man. I
soon.
mean, I know you're gonna play it eventually, and I know you have a backlog of games because you're not. And I mean, I know you're not missing out a lot on it because you got a big backlog, and we're
Hmm.
about to talk next about a game that you've got instead, which you really like too, which we'll get into in a few moments.
Yeah, yeah, that will be for next episode. It will be right next to this conversation, but we are
Yeah.
going to separate videos. So for you guys, will be the next episode. For us, will be like in a few minutes.
So stay tuned. Don't
Um,
go anywhere, dude. Don't go anywhere.
exactly, don't go anywhere. That's kind of sad because I was more hyped about of all the games that came out in October. The one that I was actually hyped about was Wolfenstein. But the thing is, yeah, for some shitty reason, they did not stock PlayStation 4 copies. I do have an Xbox One,
Hmm.
but much when I'm playing the game.
Yeah, of
Um,
course, of course. I mean, that
so
makes sense. I mean, you want to collect your trophy hunter. You gotta have them together because I mean, PS4 is trophies and Xbox One is achievements. They're two kind of totally different things. You can't say if you buy it for the PS4 and you platinum it, and you buy it for the Xbox, you can't say I platinum the game because it's pretty much one's platinum and one's achievements. You know, I guess you could say that for both, but I mean, it's not the same.
I would feel like if, for example, I did all my career on the Raiders and I won the Super Bowl and stuff, and then just next season I moved to the 49ers, something like that.
Yeah, you know,
That's how would I
something
feel.
totally different. Yeah, I totally understand it. So, I mean, I would understand. I mean, it'd be the same thing if you beat it on Xbox One. Then you would like to beat two on Xbox One itself, so you could have the group of achievements. Obviously, right? I mean,
Exactly.
so yeah.
Now here comes the question. Here comes
Hmm.
the important question.
Sure.
Would you recommend the game?
Ooh, come on, man. Oh yeah, I talked like 3 pages of goodness and a paragraph of badness, dude. I'd be an idiot if you're like, no, dude, avoid this game. Fucking is a piece of shit. Avoid it. I'd be
This
talking out
game
my
fucking
ass, dude.
sucks.
Exactly. I'd be talking out my ass, dude. The game is great, dude. It's. I mean, I haven't beat it yet. I know I'm a little halfway, and I'm loving it. The story, the gameplay. I mean, it's good. It's all there, dude. I mean, it's. And plus, if you just have the urge to kill Nazis to get your scalps, get them scalps, it's just, it's good, dude. It feels, you get this weird satisfaction of actually cutting these guys up. I play that. It does it so well. It's
And
scary.
come on, there are Nazis. Who doesn't like to kill Nazis?
I know, Nazis. So I mean, so that's my opinion on the game. I mean, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. And yeah, stay tuned because we're about to make a next video as well, right, Shinke?
Yeah, we're gonna have another episode, and we're just gonna jump onto a different conversation, and the tone will change totally completely because the game we're gonna talk about has nothing to do with Nazi, has nothing to do with gore. So we're gonna dial it down to PG-13 again. Actually, like E for everyone again. So
E for everyone.
just stay tuned.
So yeah,
Just stay tuned.
so yeah, stay tuned. Thank you for watching, and peace out. Live long, game on. Peace.
Peace.